Like to call our Richmond City Council meeting to order September 5th, 2018. Everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. Our first item up is our open public forum. If anybody that's not on the agenda wishes to speak, we allow you 3 minutes or to speak about whatever topics you'd like. If we don't see anybody jumping for joy to go speak, we'll move on with our agenda for this evening. Approval of the agenda.
Cindy, the additions besides the ones that you had to us? Okay, nope. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of meeting minutes from August 1st, August 6th, and August 16th. Any questions on the minutes?
I make a motion to approve this in.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of bills paid. Anybody see anything that understand?
I just had one question about changing locks on the maintenance building. About changing,
Was it maintenance or was it?
let me look, I've got it underlined here somewhere. I was just wondering why
Is it,
change locks, would be page 2.
that's for parks?
Repairs, maintenance building.
It's for the parks and for arena, they needed to change some locks on the doors.
For all the building, for everything in the building, or what?
No, they had to change one at Glacial Pavilion and then one at, I know Kevin's office lock was getting wiggly and, so they changed some locks.
It just seems kind of high, it's just kind of, I thought maybe they did the whole building or they did the whole. Okay.
No, vandal, it wasn't because of that.
Okay. Any other questions on the bills to be paid? If not, I look for a motion.
So moved. Motion. I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consent agenda for this evening, Resolution 160-18, approval of August 2018 journal entries. Item B is Resolution 161-18, acceptance of August 2018 donations, which are Richmond Lions Park, donated by the Lions. The EpiPens that were donated, or the city purchased and were reimbursed by Centricare Health Systems. And for the multi-use shelters, the medallions was sponsored by the Richmond American Legion for $400. Those are the donations. Resolution 162-18, authorization of 2018-2019 liquor license for the Richmond Baseball Park or Club. Item D, Resolution 163-18, authorization of Minnesota Lawful Gambling LG 220 exempt permit for River Lakes Hockey Inc. on December 19, 2018. Item E, Resolution 165-18, approval of leave of absence. Item F, acceptance of People's Service August 2018 report. Anybody have any questions or comments on any of the?
For the permit for the River Lakes Hockey Arena, what, is that just a one-time deal for that December 19th? What's going on that day?
It's their calendar raffle, they do it every year.
Their calendar
And
raffle
that's
that
the
day?
Yeah, that's the day they do it.
All right. Just want to double check.
Any other questions? If not, look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion to accept consent agenda. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. At this time, we'll move on to department reports. We'll start with the Park and Rec. Kevin Mooney.
Evening, council, mayor, Cindy, and everybody else. Welcome. go a couple of areas here. First, I'll just kind of review all the stuff we did this past summer. The band shelter got built, the floors got redone out at Centennial, parking lots got put in at 2 parks, fitness stations got installed this year. We did a lot of work this summer. We did a lot of improvements on that facility over there. And we've had really good responses from public, visitors, just the amount of people that we're seeing come in and out of the park, and the amount of use that, especially that walking track's been getting lately, is really pretty good. Another thing that was a real positive this past summer is we had some Little League growth, which was kind of nice. We had been seeing a downward trend in Little League. Well, we bucked that this year, and we went from 3 teams last year to 4 teams this year. It looks like we should continue that for a period of time, so we'll see how that goes for us. We also had some really good concerts out there this past summer, and really good turnouts and really nice sponsorship. I think that was one of the things that kind of took me a little bit by surprise with sponsorship. I mean, of the 7 concerts we did, 4 were sponsored, actually 5 were sponsored, so that was kind of nice. And it was nice to see that the community's getting behind that Music in the Park program and helping financially push it along, so that was nice. The next thing I was going to go to was the arena. Obviously, we're really starting to ramp up, and we'll get on pickleball. The arena, glass and boards have gone in the last 2 weeks, so the rink is back intact. We have our refrigeration is scheduled to go on September 17th. We're going to do, if everything goes well with startup and we can get down to temp, we plan on painting ice on September 20th. And then we'll spend 1 week making ice. And then on September 29th, we're going to have a 50 and over statewide hockey tournament. That's how we're going to start the season off. Guys from all over the upper Midwest will come here. We've got accommodations at some of the resorts down on the chain. Got a banquet hall set aside for social time, and it should be a really fun event. They do a lot of these around the state, and we happened to just pick a weekend where there was nothing going on, so hopefully it goes really well. Got a good organizer for the event, so hopefully that goes well. I have spent the last couple days just scheduling ice, getting communication going. I'm almost ready to go and publish our ice schedule for the month of October on the youth hockey's website, and then our website here at the city too, so should be pretty close to that. So those are the things that I had going on. I don't have a copy of the agenda, but I know I had 2 other issues that we wanted to talk about. And as long as we have these fine pickleballers here, we would like to talk about some pickleball. Anybody from the audience? Wendell?
Yep.
Want to talk about pickleball a little bit?
Sure.
All right. I'll take the paddle. Oh, you don't hurt anybody.
I'll give you a piece there.
Okay.
My name is Wendell Giese, and I play pickleball at Cold Spring today. For playing outdoors, we have to go to Way Park, or Sartell, or Calvary Hills. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to build courts in Richmond. And doing that, we believe that we can bring both the youth and the seniors together for basically recreation, their health, their well-being. At the same time, hopefully bringing more people in from outside the area and keeping them within Richmond to buy their groceries, go to the restaurant, get gas, go to the liquor store. I don't know what does everybody know what pickleball is? No, This is a paddle? I don't. This is a ball. So it's like ping pong, except you got like a wiffle ball. and you have a graphite paddle. You can buy a paddle from $19 to $150.
You play better with a 150?
I knew that was coming.
Actually, the higher the price bracket, the better it's basically built. So depending on if you want speed or if you want softness for a touch, you can get that in the higher price ones. But
Is it kind of on the line of tennis, or is it totally
It's-
different? or-
it's, as far as having, well, in tennis you got a racket, pickleball you got a paddle. Use a tennis court. If you have a tennis court, you can get 4 pickleball courts in it. That's how big a pickleball court is. It's basically 20 by 43. There's, basically the pickleball is the fastest growing sport there is in the US today. There's 2.5 million people that are playing it today, and that number came from all the sports and health facilities that are offering pickleball today. It doesn't include the people like us playing in Cold Spring or other places within the state or the US. So it could be twice that. Pickleball got its name from a dog that would chase after a ball, and the dog's name was Pickles. So then they got pickleball, and in 2009, the USPA Pickleball League took on the name pickleball from that dog. There is one other outdoor court that I know of, and that's in Paynesville. And that's in the hockey rink by Bob and Judy's. And that hockey rink isn't very safe as far as running and stopping. It's got a lot of gravel on it, a lot of cracks in it. So I don't know how much that's being used, but I'm sure that if we had a court here, that Paynesville people would come here, the Albany people would come here, Avon people would come here. There's quite a few people that would come here.
Now, when you came, they came about a week, they contacted Kevin, the Rocori Area Pickleball Club, contacted Kevin and just said, what is the likelihood and is there space? And could we sit down and meet and talk? And 3 of them came and met with Kevin and myself and said, this is what we would like to see in Richmond, and this is what we're willing to do. And the willing to do was sort of very attractive in that they were willing to go out and do some fundraising. They weren't coming and asking for the City of Richmond Parks Department to spend $192,000. It would be nice if we had it, but they weren't asking of that. They were asking, one, of the Parks Director, do we have space at one of the parks, and 2, would the council be on board of letting us use the space to put one of these in there, and we'll go out and we'll do the fundraising, and obviously, you know, the council will help in any way we can, but they'll do the fundraising. So really tonight is looking for an approval of, you know, yes, that we have space at Centennial Park and that we're on board with allowing pickleball, so that then they get the go-ahead to start raising the funds.
How big are the courts?
They're, each court is 20 by 43.
Okay.
And then they have a 10-foot buffer on the side to run. So if you run past the boundary lines, you're not gonna hit somebody else.
Basically, think of us putting a tennis court out at Centennial Park. That's pretty much what's happening. It'll be, except there'll be 4 courts within that space, and then it'll be fenced around.
So at the bottom of the first page there, there's 128 by 80 foot rectangle.
Question is, Wendell, you say there's 3 areas in and around central Minnesota that got outdoor. Obviously Wade Park's got a great facility, it's #1, I've seen it. You said there's one up in Sartell too?
Yes.
Where is that located up in Sartell?
Right now,
Is it a designated pickleball area or is they just converted something to it?
they have a dome. I don't know if you, and I don't know where it is, but it's on Pine Cone Road someplace.
Oh, it's the old Gold's
It's a fitness
Gym.
center.
It's the old Gold's Gym.
You talking about Old Gold's Gym right up there?
I believe that's.
Is it inside there?
It'll
someplace?
be, I don't think the dome is up right now.
It's always up.
Whitney has
Oh, is it?
pickleball.
Yeah.
Whitney has pickleball.
Whitney has it, okay.
Calvary.
Indoors.
Indoors.
Oh, Whitney's indoors?
Yes.
Calvary has outdoor pickleball.
Yeah.
And then so does Wake Park.
Talking about up by Calvary Hill in St. Cloud or
Yes.
in that neck of the woods?
Yes.
Yes.
That was SEH's first pickleball site.
Okay,
And the second one was Way Park, and
okay,
then the third one, if we get space, will be here.
all right.
We have not incurred any costs, obviously, but the numbers that you're seeing are from our engineer, Dave Blumel.
A couple other questions too, for you talking about, ballpark, in the surrounding area, including Cold Spring, Richmond, Rockville, say Albany, say Painesville, say Avon, say surrounding area, other than let's eliminate St. Cloud and White Park and possibly Sartell. Ballpark number of people that play this within this area, give or take?
In Cold Spring, during the fall and winter months, we have 41.
41 people.
And that's not counting Avon,
Right.
Albany, Painesville, or some of the St. Cloud people that live closer to the Corey area than St. Cloud.
Okay. All right.
Wendell, I got a couple of questions for you too, if everybody else is.
No, thanks, Mike.
You talked about age groups.
Mhm.
So what are we talking, kids from the youngest that could play? So it's,
Kids like from 6 years old to, we have people playing today that are 86 with a double bypass.
okay.
Granted, they're not as fast as the 20-year-olds, but
Okay. But it does involve kids. I mean, where this, you could use
We all play
it, young children.
Yeah.
And then what is the future of pickleball? I mean, is it gonna be something that's gonna be getting bigger, you think?
well, it's getting huge.
It is.
Matter of fact, whenever we go on vacation, we stay where they play pickleball.
Okay.
And a lot of people that come to the lake during the summer, they're coming here for the summer, then they go to either Florida, Arizona, or Texas, where they're playing big time pickleball. And a lot of them are playing pickleball there.
And then I realize you're gonna raise the money to put these courts in, and once they're in, then it'll be the city's responsibility for maintenance. How much maintenance is on a court? Very little,
I
minimal?
would say, I don't know how long a asphalt court lasts, couldn't tell you. As far as the lines go, I think if the whole thing had to be repainted and lined, I think it's on there as 27,000. It's down towards the bottom, I think
Yeah.
probably the third one from the bottom.
Acrylic surface and striping.
Yeah, and basically, a lot of time, they can actually fix the surface and then recoat that area. Granted, it won't be the same color, it'll be close to the same color, but it wouldn't be the same.
You think this is yearly, or
No,
No, seasonal.
they last pretty well, like a tennis?
well,
court?
yeah,
Calgary's been in how long?
4 years, I think. And Wake Park this is the second year.
Calgary still looks basically brand new.
Does it? Okay.
And I think we'd have less problems if it was out in that park area where there hasn't been any tree roots. And I think the tree roots is what damages a lot.
Right.
Sandy soil, no trees.
Yeah.
So Kevin, on your,
Oh,
just looking at the basic size of this, did you kind of have an area or two out there that?
Yeah, we're looking at the area between the west ball field and the playground. There's also in the master plan, there is also a basketball court in that area that was planned in 2004. There's plenty of space. Centennial has a lot of space.
That's not in one of the low areas,
No.
like in
it'd be
the front
further-
of the park, where the playground equipment always ends up underwater.
No, it'd be further west of that. It
I'm
should
just
be
looking
an
at,
issue.
not that we would pick a spot where it's gonna be underwater in the spring, because
Yeah.
that would,
We'd have it well engineered, so it's above grade.
And we would also like it to run north and south if possible.
Sure.
Just for the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's plenty of space out there. But there's other areas it could be placed too. You know, we set a good spot, was outside of the fence line on Westfield too. Big open space as well. I don't know about the east, the north-south on that piece, but yeah, there's plenty of room.
Are the, just a quick question for you, Kevin. Are tennis courts that are currently in town on school property?
Yeah.
That's on school
They don't
property.
belong to us.
What's that?
They do not belong to us.
Okay, they do not belong to us, okay. Okay.
I guess the other concern is wherever you would place these, for you guys, would this be something you'd want a tarred trail from, now that the parking lot's tarred? Yeah, what I'm getting after, not that we put it on the other side of the park where it ends up, you have to walk through all the grass and wet grass to get there. You know, like in the spring.
I don't think it would matter. We walk through the grass now at Wake Park.
Okay.
I'm just looking at different
No, and
ideas.
that's what, but you know, if we're gonna build a nice pickleball facility, it would be nice to have a path going there. For the visitors and stuff that go.
Right, chopping for my piece.
And really, obviously, engineering and placement is, it certainly would be something that would come further down, and Kevin would be bringing me back those reports on what you're looking at, what's the best, and elevation and all of that, so it's really just
Just
giving them the
Location.
thumbs up to say, yeah, we're good with it.
the top drawing, it has umbrellas in the middle. There's two of them. They won't be included in the one that we have. Ours will be like a bottom, and you'll see a round area right in the center. It's got like a dash area. That's for if the ball goes in another court, you don't have to go out of the gate. You can just go through the court there.
Okay.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
We just got a vendor down at the arena. He retired 2 years ago. I said, "No, so you're retiring. What are you gonna do?" "I'm playing pickleball." It's like, what? That's what that was his plan once he retired, playing pickleball.
It's like eating a potato chip.
Yeah.
Once you start to play, you continue to play.
I see, oh, I'm sorry, Kim.
Is there leagues that go on? I mean, do you?
There are leagues. The leagues that I know that are in Whitney, that's the only place I know where they have a league. And then they have the Northern Paddle Leagues. But there's several places who have groups of people not really considered a league that play.
Is there do you have like a state convention or like a state tournament or anything like that?
It does happen in Mankato.
State, national, quite a few. And the tournament in Mankato was 3 weeks ago.
And we have a player,
There's a regional qualifier for the national.
I don't know if you know Tom O'Neill?
The ex-cop from St. Cloud?
No,
Nope.
Not that one?
he's a pickleball player.
What? Come on.
He just got gold in Fargo and in Lakeville or Mankato.
Oh, good for him.
So,
Well, if we're looking at making Centennial Park an area of attraction like that, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Well, Kevin, will that interfere with any of I know what you're saying on the west? If you're looking at the band shell right now, or not actually the band, but
It would be north of that,
be north of that.
in that void between the playground and the ball field.
Okay.
That's
The
not.
reason I'm just saying, we'll make sure it's not going to interfere with the soccer or the lacrosse or anything.
No, that is, well, if we ever get that stuff back, that space will be available.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yes.
I would like to make that into a motion, that, being that we have the area available to, go ahead with the request, I guess, for the property. Is that how you wanted it stated, or?
Well, I think it's given them the go-ahead to start and that we're on board with it. like I said before, the location, this isn't the setting a location by any stretch. And
Okay.
Kevin's gonna be along for all of that, and we'll keep you informed on that, so, yeah.
So Mike made the motion to go ahead and offer the space up for pickleball courts to be installed when money is available. Do I hear a second?
I'll
Second
second.
by Larry. Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for the education.
Keep us posted on how things are
I'll
going.
have to come on.
Yeah.
and See you again somewhere.
I'll let you take some of my stuff.
Oh, pardon me?
He said all was going awful fast and you
You get hit hard?
They're playing my grandson, I can do them.
Well, seriously, drive over to Wake Park sometime. And drive over there and just literally go over and watch. Phenomenal courts they have there.
Any morning
Yeah, Cold Spring,
between 8 and noon, there's typically a crowd of people there every morning.
At where? At
Wake Park.
At Weaver.
in Cold Spring, they play, was it Monday?
At the senior
The schedule changed,
Tuesday.
it's Tuesday 1 to 3, Wednesday
We just turn it north-south.
9 to 11,
You can
and
pass that
then
around.
Friday 1 to 3.
Try and walk through it.
Yeah, 'cause they have a bleacher set up in the senior center, that you can sit down.
Flip this.
Well, we move the bleachers over.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks
So
so much.
ball field, this, playground,
Kevin?
flip like that.
Yes, we'll keep going
What
here.
else you have?
The other thing that I have for tonight is, the Royals are up for the 2019 regional tournament, so it's not uncommon to do some park improvements when that regional is coming into town, so it's a great opportunity for Richmond to showcase our community for 2 straight weekends and have a lot of people come into the area, so obviously, when did they do the last one, was it? 12, so it was 6 years ago they did the last one and it was a big hit and, you know. So what I'm thinking that you have in front of you is some improvements for 2019 to Royals Park. First and foremost, they're running on a lawnmower that's over 12 years old. And
It's the only thing I gave them.
that's the only thing you gave them,
The
okay.
lawnmower quote.
Was the lawnmower quotes. So we asked them to go out and find a mower that was good for them, something that was gonna work for their purposes, you know, I mean, their cutting is different than my cutting in the other parks. So they went out and they test drove a lot of different machines and came up with the Toro X-Mark Ultra Cut 60-inch with a bagger, dethatcher, and striper. They got 2 different quotes. One was from Powerhouse and one was from Arnold's. There's a $500 difference between the 2, but Arnold's was $500 cheaper than Powerhouse, but there were a couple things on that. You know, I asked them, I said, you know, you guys did this, so what's going on? There's some labor that's on Powerhouse that's not on the Arnold's bid. And that was a total of $265 difference. So that makes up about half of it. A couple of other things. Powerhouse is a lawnmower dealer. That's what they do. They sell lawnmowers. So we have them there readily available, where Arnold's is more of an implement dealer. The other thing was Powerhouse would be able to provide a loaner machine if they have maintenance issues, or Arnold's did not guarantee that ability to have that. And those were the things. The Royals are asking that we take the Powerhouse quote based on those additional things that I brought up to you. Now this lawnmower will be shared financially between the 2 of us, 50-50, just like we did the lawnmower with the Lions last year. Or was it this year? It was. It was this year. So They have nothing to trade in, there's no trading value. These are government bids, so we did get a discounted price off of the mowers because we're purchasing it as a city. And they need them all. Yes?
Are we keeping the other lawnmower then that they have?
That doesn't belong to us, it's not the city's. I can't find any record of the city being involved in the purchase of that mower. I can't find any documentation that says 12, 13 years ago, we purchased that mower, so we don't have it. Now, we'll purchase this mower, it will belong to the city of Richmond, and we will, just like the Lions Park and their mower, we will make sure it's being maintained properly, make sure that training is done to anybody that gets on it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it belongs to the city of Richmond. But they are willing to pay for half of it. So we're out on that. So we need, yeah, go ahead.
This item will be purchased in 2019, and on the one sheet it lists the city's portion money is coming out of the park CIP that they have already, so the money's there for.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything special for this. It's not actually going to be a line item anywhere but other than Royals Park CIP. The money has been set aside over the years. So just to let you know that. This isn't something that's going to go on the regular tax rolls and, you know, create an increase or a decrease in any levies or anything like that. It is savings that have been put aside for a long time.
Any other questions on this item?
I got a question, Kevin. This has always been stressed within the city a lot, and everything too. I don't think we seem to get enough of it, no matter if we continually can go out and about in areas for certain particular mowers, for example, that are apples to apples. Our local guy here in town obviously does handle some type of a zero turning radius mower that's very comparable to something like this. He doesn't. You're shaking your head.
Not from what I understand. I mean,
Did anybody approach
when we approached him with our last John Deere purchase?
Right.
And I did talk to him about this mower when we purchased that tractor for the waste treatment plant.
Okay.
You know, this machine, must learn to run this machine.
They don't make a machine comparable to that in the same type? Okay.
I'll tell you what, I can go down and ask the question again. I mean, I can do that.
Okay. I just feel that, number one, we always try and to stress, at least from a standpoint of getting a local bid all the time. Sometimes we seem to run away from that a few times and stuff too, and obviously we have given business to them before, but we should always give them at least an opportunity to be able to say, hey, wait a minute, I can maybe get something like that, and here's what his bid would be pertaining to it. So that's my only question.
I think the problem that he runs into is his ability to give us a government bid.
Okay.
Like Arnold's or any of these other places are able to do.
Can't offer the discounts, or why?
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though Husqvarna is a huge corp. Interesting. Okay.
I mean, again,
Well, I
I
just
can
wanna-
go down and ask that question,
Mhm.
I would agree with Mike that you should probably try that.
Just every opportunity and stuff too, flat out, he's gonna say, no, I can't even handle something like this, or, or I don't even offer anything like that. And obviously, yeah, have him price it if he can. I just don't see why sometimes that we don't throw a bid in every single time automatically if he's close to what they may have, so. Just my feeling on that, that's all, so. But if they don't make it, they don't make it, that's kind of, it's kind of the big thing, but it seems like they have zero turning radius mowers that
They do.
I've seen outside.
And, okay, yep, you're right.
Okay.
Can you do that and then bring it for the
Right.
September 20th? Bring that back, either his yes,
I'll probably just
no.
provide it, you don't need me to come and stand in front of it again.
No, you
No.
I can
provide it so we can put in the
Whether or
packet.
not he has one that is comparable to this machine or not,
Because they'll be talking about the rest of those budget items at that meeting.
We're not gonna talk about the rest of these right now, get ready to.
Because that's when they'll do the budget.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, thanks Kevin, thank you for doing that, so.
Anything else on the baseball?
That's all I got? Well, I mean, there's other things, but apparently not gonna be discussed for.
Hey, go ahead.
Do you have your finger? Oh, I have nothing.
We have the
Arena.
resolution for
Hiring.
hiring your staff.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that was on there. That is returning staff from last year. There's nobody new into that yet. To see what we have coming up and where things fall. Yes. I don't have it in front of me, so.
Oh.
Resolution 164-18, hiring a seasonal workers for River Lakes Arena ice season.
You have enough people in the maintenance group there?
I don't know, and I don't know what the extent of their involvement's going to be.
Okay, I'm just curious from a driver's standpoint.
These were just the ones you had from last
These are
year.
guys that were there last year that have said, yeah, we'll put some time in and we'll get some hours, but the amount of it and, how many hours they're willing to eat up, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But, I mean, there may be somebody on that list that just doesn't put any hours in, but,
That's just a, like, on-call type deal.
exactly, like, is Jason on there?
Jason's on there, Paul.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jason's like our emergency guy.
Okay,
And if somebody's sick or, something happens.
Paul's
Jason's
on
the guy
there,
we can
Mark,
call.
Tyler,
Paul's the guy who will work
Reed.
one shift a week.
okay, all right, okay,
All of those guys have full-time jobs,
okay.
and they come and help us out a
Okay,
night
good.
or two a week.
And you're not advertising for any more?
Right now, I'm not advertising for anything. We should be good in the concession stand area. There's some interest for a spot there. I do know that two of the guys that were concession last year, if we need to pull them back and start to train them into maintenance and Zamboni, they're more than willing to do that.
Okay.
So that's the best way to kind of, we know them, they're in the system, we just expand their responsibilities.
All right. Perfect.
Resolution 164-18. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Anything else, Kevin?
That's all I got.
Okay, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
We'll move on to a police report for this evening.
Mayor, Council,
Hey.
how are we doing tonight?
Good.
So, just start off with a recap for the month of June. In Richmond, there was 157 total incidents for the month, 3 medicals, 5 suspicious activities, 55 traffic stops with 56 warnings and 8 citations, and then 94 miscellaneous calls for service. As long as there's no questions with that. Earlier in end of winter, springish, I think I came and talked to you guys, we had a gentleman approach us about starting a chaplaincy program with our department. We've never had that program before.
What kind of programs?
Chaplain.
Okay.
With the fire department, with the police and fire department. So over the summer, we completed backgrounds and kind of everything we had to do. We've never had the program, so we kind of had to create and steal from other departments on what they have and how to function and everything. Ron Fisher was the gentleman that did approach us. He's here tonight. Just kind of wanted to introduce him with you. He was just approved at the last Cold Spring City Council meeting as a volunteer member of our department. So we're starting the program now. The hope is that he'll work with us and both fire departments for just different things for us to talk to, for him to help families in crisis, notifications, different emergency messages, that kind of stuff. Overall, it's a really good program to have, and I'll introduce, you can come up here, I'll introduce him, and I can let him explain himself a little bit, because I'll miss a bunch of stuff. So, this is Ron Fisher. He comes with a lot of experience.
Council, hi.
Let him talk about that a little bit.
I came to the area in 1980 at Eden Valley. I was a teacher 6 years, so that's how I came to this area. We left. I spent most of my career in education, then went into ministry. Then was a ski patrol for years, and then they got me into first responder. And then my chief, who was a member of my church, said, "You ever thought about being a fire chaplain?" And I said, "No, never heard of it." So went down to Louisiana, became trained in the Federation of Fire Chaplains, a national organization. Then police find out about you, then they say, you ever thought about being a police chaplain? So then I became police chaplain in the La Crosse area chaplaincy. We served La Crosse County in Wisconsin, incorporated the county plus about 70 towns within that county. We were on call 24 hours. We did it on a rotation basis. We've been called out from suicides to murders to everything. We're the people that sort of show up, and all the nice officers who are working the scene trying to do the police work look at me and go, thanks for being here. Because they now know I do the people and they do the work. And that's basically it. There's a sigh of relief for those guys because they don't have to deal with people who are grieving or, questions. Fire chiefs really like it because they can fight the fires, and I'm dealing with the family who's been put out of home at 20 below zero, and what do we do with them? We moved from that area. The last 3 years was in Maple Grove. I helped take care of Jan's mom. She passed away about a couple months ago. And we decided to get back to small town and pick a Cold Spring. And if you guys would have an apartment, well, I didn't know, whatever. But we ended up in Cold Spring on the River Oaks, the golf course up there. But I don't play golf or pickleball, so we're working on that.
Not yet.
Not yet anyway, right? But, and then we were working through that, trying to see if we could start up a program here. Basically, I'm also part of the Central Minnesota Emergency Services Chaplaincy, which is a group of chaplains in Central Minnesota area. Benton County Sheriff's Department, Stearns County, Avon, Albany, they all have chaplains. And we now have a chaplain here for our community here. So we just serve in that route. We do meet monthly with that organization. I'm still affiliated with the National Conference of Police Chaplains. We'll be going out to Rapid City for a regional training here in a couple of weeks. So we do keep up to date. We have to keep our credentials and stuff like that. So come here and help out the best we can. It is volunteer, and it's just sort of a call or a mission for us to help out where we're needed. My favorite phrase is, when you're having a bad day, you don't need to be alone. So that's sort of about the simpleness of that. So, any questions that I can answer for you guys?
Welcome.
Thank you and welcome.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Yep.
Chief, it's your turn.
No, overall, I think it's going to be a great program moving forward and kind of learn as we go kind of thing, but I've worked with chaplains from other departments and that they're a very good asset to have, so happy to start the program. Also, one of our part-timers, Ryan Schaefer, if you see him around, we just received his letter of resignation. He got a full-time job with a different department, so he's moving on, and we'll start advertising for a new part-timer. So if you see somebody new around, hopefully I'll get him over here, him, her, or whoever it may be, to introduce them when they get started. But we'll be going through that process soon. National Night Out recap. Between both cities, we had 5 different locations. Over here in Richmond, we did it on the Centennial Park with a music in the park night, so it was by far the biggest event we had for this year. I didn't make it over here, but last year I think we had 3 total places that we had going. This year we had 5 total, so it's growing and hopefully it continues to grow. I think it's a good program to get out and meet everybody, so I think overall it went really well. The speed truck, we still have the speed truck out. We keep putting it in places, but if anybody has any places they would like it put, let us know, and we can work that into the schedule. So if you know of a place, probably try and get it up with school starting, I'll get it over by the school. But if you know of any places that you might want to see it, let us know. And then suspicious activity. We've had, over the summer, we had some vandalism at some of the parks. If anybody sees anything, we've been doing extra patrols, but if anybody sees anything suspicious, anything out of place, let us know. We're here 24 hours a day. I'd rather have us check it out and figure out what's going on than something happen without us knowing about it. So that's all I have, unless you guys have questions.
Quick question. I know a few weeks ago, maybe almost a month ago and stuff too, we did, as a city, turn around and send out some citations for, say vehicles that weren't licensed and so forth, just trying to clean things up. How are we moving forward with that? Are we still staying on top of that? Making sure that some of these things are being taken care of by the people that have received, because I think we're giving them an X time period to make sure that they get particular things taken care of
Yep.
that they've been cited on.
Yep, I know Eric, he started with a list, notifications went out, then administrative signs, or citations went out. I know Tessa and Cindy were working with a lot of people on that list to get things cleaned up. I know Eric's been working and double checking some of those addresses to see where they're at. I know the overall list has dwindled down quite a bit, and before the end of the summer month here, but yes, it is continued to be worked on.
Good. Great, well, thanks, that's all I had.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
At this time, we'll move on to council reports for this evening. We'll start with the EDA. Mike and Mike.
We move forward with Mary Moose Daycare that's located on 23 here. They moved in building down there. She took advantage of our signage program and the tax incentive program. And we'll put a sign up there tomorrow to show that they took advantage of our programs. Still contact a few businesses, new businesses trying to come in the town. We're getting a lot of, they're not ready to move in here. A lot of no's, but we're gonna keep working on it, contacting people, and possibly working on a new project for 2019, kind of a big one, I'm hoping. So from there, we'll, next month, see where we're at with that. That's it.
Blue Lights.
What's the next meeting date?
Oh, yeah, that would be September 17th. Correct?
Monday?
No,
Thank you.
Tuesday, 18th, September 18th, 6:30.
Blue light program. Do you know, are those lights coming this fall yet, or are they coming next spring?
They're on
Jim, what'd you know offhand?
Yeah, I got a call last, I called the bike shop last Monday, not this past Monday, Monday before. And they're in, but he had to put them together. And I was hoping to get a call last week, but I never got the call. So as soon as I get the call, I'll go pick them up.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Anything else for EDA?
Nope.
All right, planning commission, Jim, or Larry?
We met on August 26th, if I believe, right? Does that sound right? 30th, excuse me. August 30th. It was just a recap, just following up on what we had going on, just on all the progress and some of the housing was and permits and stuff like that. It was just a very minor meeting.
Good general conversation.
Yeah, just seeing how everything was going and if there's any problems with any of the situation with housing or permits, but everything was fine, so. The next meeting is the 27th of September if needed, so.
Anybody have any questions for Tim or Larry for planning? Then we'll go on Rickory Trail.
Curry Trail, again, is tomorrow at 9 o'clock in Rockville. Again, very light. We just got a couple, looking at a couple of bills that need to be done. We got to disapprove some signage and things like that. Some just updates from engineering, but you know, like I said there, we're just waiting for funding and just trying to push forward and it's a push trying to get money. That's where we're at right now. Otherwise, everything else, last time we met was on July 12th, so there again, it was pretty much the same thing. The only thing there, we approved the, we had approved some track work or some repair work in Cold Spring. Yeah, so that was it there. So it really hasn't been much, like I said, it's still, right now, it's all Heidi Pepper, so we're working hard trying to get some, figure out where we find some more money and digging up where we're at, so. Kevin, do you got anything else to go with that?
We did a 3 cities maintenance day back in July, where all 3 communities got together and ripped down trees and branches, and we spent 7 hours, 8 guys working on the trail all the way through, so only put a little maintenance time into it a few weeks back, so.
There will be 2 new signs on this side of Rockville, on the just east of Golden Plump, and then the west side of Rockville. That will be that trail will be closed, even though the tracks have been taken out. There will be some signage out there now saying that it is actually closed, so.
Yeah, the insurance, the League of Minnesota Cities suggested that we put up some signage.
Yes.
As long as the trail isn't completed, to just try to keep people from using it. I mean, you're not going to keep people off of it, but at least we've told them that the trail is closed.
Yes.
We're also working with BNSF right now to try to get the tracks removed on Sauk River Road, which is over there by Golden Plump, Mississippi Topsoil, and at Mill Creek Road in Rockville still has tracks. And that's up to BNSF to get them out of there. So it looks like they're pushing back a little bit right now, saying, well, really that's not our deal. Well, it is, you know, you just gotta convince them to come back. They asked us last fall if they could wait until this year to take them out, because it was later in the year. And we agreed to that because we really didn't want to put bituminous down in October. So we agreed that they could come back. And now they're going, well, it's really not our deal. Well, if it's not your deal, why did you ask us to, you know, put it off for the spring? So whatever, we'll get it figured out and get those tracks out of there and get those streets back to where they're supposed to be.
Any questions from the trail? Thanks, guys. Moving on, 2019 street improvement project. August 2nd, we sent out public hearing notices. Were sent to all the property owners in the 19 project. August 16th, we had a public hearing here at City Hall. We addressed a bunch of the issues that were brought up to the council. And at the end of the meeting, the council approved the order to improvement and preparation of plans, resolution 159-18. Our next step right now is in September now. The SCH will start the design part of the project. And by December and January, a preliminary design will be submitted to the council. Early spring of 2019, we'll advertise for bids. And summer of 2019 will be construction, if those are the next steps that are in line for the 2018 or 19 street project, if everything comes through. Obviously, funding and things are probably a bigger issue on the whole project. Just wanted to give an update, being that we had a public hearing on the 2019 street project. We do have a couple other letters that we received. Dear Richmond River Lake Days supporters, all members of the community and the 2018 River Lake Days Committee would like to thank you for your help in keeping this a great community tradition going year after year. Your donation and support was greatly appreciated. Businesses and individuals like yourself are ones that are key to our success. Sincerely, Richmond River Lake Days Committee 2018, and would like to thank the city for all the personnel that helped. It was greatly appreciated. And I have one more. Cold Spring Area Historical Society is having a history of the Cold Spring Fire Department at the district facility on Friday, September 7th at 9 a.m. And the presenter is Roy Schuweiler. So if anybody's interested, that's Friday, September 7th at the Ricori District Educational Facilities. With that, other matters concerned for this evening, our next council meeting is September 20th at 6:30 p.m. And that'll be our workshop, and we'll be discussing our budget for the year, finalizing our budget. Anything else, Tim?
Yeah, I just want to mention, along with that music in the park, we had the Ricori Action Backpack donation that night, which was a huge success. I want to thank everyone that came out that night with the night out as well, but also donating to the Action Pack. I think we were well over $400 and some, just short of $5. I think they said it was in that area somewhere. I may be wrong with the full numbers on it, but I want to thank the community to come out and support such a strong program for these kids that has their little snacks after school. So thank you, community, very much so.
Anything else?
I just want to mention that street improvement project, that meeting we had, I was pretty impressed with that. I mean, there was a lot of people there. I mean, not a lot, I mean, but I didn't expect that many people. There's some good questions, and I thought we had a good conversation. Not everything everybody wanted to hear was said, but it was, I thought, pretty good.
Great. Anything else? Otherwise, a reminder, our next council meeting is September 20th at 6:30. Nothing else, meeting's adjourned.